All right. We are here. We are live. We are in the present. We are about to do this damn thing. All right, Knicks Nation, let's get into it. The New York Knicks face the Charlotte Hornets tonight for the final dress rehearsal of the preseason. And we didn't have any Mitchell Robinson, no OG Anunoby, no Josh Hart, no Karl Anthony Towns. So it was an interesting lineup for tonight. We got Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, the two regulars. But then we also got Jordan Clarkson, Trey Jameson, and Mohammed that showed up tonight as a starting lineup for Mike Brown and the New York Knicks. And look, from the get-go, this team was rolling on all cylinders in the first half, really putting the Hornets away. Things got a little dicey in the third and fourth quarter, but New York still showed out and was able to come through with the victory, 113-108. And look, a solid way to end the preseason, going 4-1. Getting ready for the regular season as they get ready to take on the Cleveland Cavaliers next week, October 22nd. Home opener, baby. You already know what it is, all right? The East up in contention between the New York Knicks and the Cavs. So looking forward to that one. Let's break it down today. Talk about the New York Knicks and how they did in this one right here. With me on the other side is my guy, Andrew Salop, a.k.a. the 1-2 combo. All right, you've probably seen him around, especially on the NBA Report with us. Combos Court, always breaking it down. You see him on B-Ball Breakdown as well. Big knowledge about the game of basketball, people. So make sure to stay tapped in, locked in. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Stay locked in, all right? We're going to talk about this preseason game, man. Look, it was a, Charlotte Hornets, man, nothing, no LaMelo Ball, no nothing, but, nice to see Jalen Brunson and the crew go out there and give some effort. How you feeling, Combo? What'd you think about this game tonight?
It was interesting. You know what was really interesting, actually? That Jalen Brunson was playing some late minutes. I was surprised when he got
you were surprised
back.
About that too, right? I mean, this guy, it seems like Brunson wanted to get ready, bro. He missed last game. It seems like he wanted to get out here and get ready for game one. There's a chip on his shoulder. You kind of feel it. I don't know. That's just me, though. What are you thinking?
I thought he looked great, by the way. The shot making, the passing, that around the back pass was tough. Him playing late, him wanting to play. Mike Brown putting him in late. Yeah, I liked everything I saw from him. It was a good effort. It was actually a good game, which was nice too. It's not like, they blew the Hornets out. So even with LaMelo and Brandon Miller out. So yeah, I thought it was a good night of basketball.
Absolutely a great night of basketball, man. And look, even with Brandon Miller out, LaMelo out, as you noted, what I liked, unlike the last game, and some people were getting on me, man. All right, some people were like, oh, it's just a preseason game. Why do you want to see effort? I want to see effort, man, because, look, this team's got a lot to play for, all right? There's not a lot of time to just, waste with this roster, okay? This is the prime opportunity. Come correct, take care of business, and that's what it looked like tonight, all right? And, I mean, we can start off with Jalen Brunson, the Captain Clutch, as CP always calls him, all right? Great moniker. Dude went 12 for 25 tonight, got his 31 points, 5 of 12 from 3, 2 or 3 from the free throw line, played 34 minutes, got 7 boards, 6 assists, 1 steal. Had the 6 turnovers, all right, well, was a little careless, but it's preseason, trying some new things out. Not too worried about that, but that guy looks ready, man. He looks poised for the regular season.
He does look ready. I feel like we didn't see a lot of off-ball Brunson, though. That's what we've been seeing a little bit more of in the other games. Not as much of off-ball Brunson. And when he was off-ball, he kind of just stood still. He just stood there. So I didn't see the new actions that we're supposed to be seeing, though. So that's like the interesting part in all of this.
I think when you have guys like, especially with the starting lineup that they had, right? Even when you put McBride out there, this is not that same potent starting lineup, where you have a lot of offensive weapons. It was him, Bridges, and we know Clarkson is a guy that will have the ultimate green light with the bench, but with the starters, changed it up, right? Like he's not going to be a guy that is going to surpass Bridges and Brunson in the pecking order when it comes to, all right, who's going to score now, who we're going to lean on. So I was not expecting a lot of Brunson off ball. When they did try it, I was like, okay, some catch and shoot here and there. Trying to find him backdoor cutting and all that good stuff. And I think that's good practice for what you want to see. But I still am not – I think it's going to be a time, man. I think it's going to be it's going to take some time. It's going to take the 25, 40 game mark, in my opinion, to really see. Showing some eyes. You're a little concerned with that. You're a little
I
concerned
mean,
with what I'm saying, man.
I don't think Knicks fans want to wait 40 games. I'll tell you that.
Look, man. I know it's not what you want to hear, but look, when you're implementing a new system with a bunch of players for the first time, I'm not expecting a lot of things to necessarily like click as quickly, especially when you want to add layers. As you know, man, when you're trying to add layers to the playbook, you got to get the core foundation first before you start adding a lot more, right? And granted, these guys that we have on this roster have high IQ, but I'm still expecting, like, I mean, being idealistic is like saying 25 games, right? I think anyone throughout the league is like, oh, it's going to take 25 games for everyone to get into rhythm. You think less? You tell me.
I hope less, because if it takes them 25, 40 games, Knicks fans are going to be on it. You know it. If like we see some, if we see some like Brunson off the ball, he's acting like he's a little bit bad body language. I know that's not his style. I know he's a great player and a great winner and wants to win, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting how much his usage actually goes down. That's what I'm interested in.
Hey, man, I'm very much interested in that. And holy cow, I'm looking at the Discord right now. I lined some people up. We got a lot of callers in. Stay locked in, people. Stay locked in. I'm going to get to your calls. If you want to call in tonight, get your takes off. Make sure to go in through the Discord. All right, I see a lot of you. We got 400 people watching right now, and we're still growing. Salute to Knicks Nation for tapping in. We're just going to break things down first before we get to all your calls. All right, so look, man, I get you. I get you at the time. We'll, if you want to dive deep into that, man, I want to hear what people have to think about that too. We'll dive deep into it. But another guy that looked good tonight too was Mikal Bridges. I thought the aggressiveness, I thought we're seeing him being more comfortable, especially when it comes to attacking the basket, something that, it seems like he was allergic to last year. He just seems more free-flowing in this offense and what the Knicks are trying to do. And I know they haven't really implemented a lot of plays yet to play in in these preseason games, but when I'm watching him out there, it just seems like it's a different player from what I saw last year. It might be because the coach is empowering him more. Mike Brown's probably doing that a little bit more. I mean, you had the quote the other day. Give me a second to pull it up. And to me, it just spoke volumes on what the temperature was between him and Tibbs. Not saying I got the full picture of like that relationship, and I'm not going to assume more than that, but shout out to our guys, Ian Begley, James Edward III, aka Trilogy, and Bondi. You had they were on SNY with Ian on the Putback Show, and what was it? The tweet was, Mike Brown has been loud at times in correcting mistakes of the Knicks' top players as they practice and prepare for regular season. Mikal Bridges on Brown's vocal nature. That's what we need. He does it in a respectful way. And I could say we can watch the video and you can hear like the tone and how it was put in, but just reading that, and listening to what Ian had to say about that, to me, to say it's done, like, you don't just say that for the sake of saying that. Like, there's a layer to that. You know what I mean?
Who had the respectful quote? Mikal?
Mikal Bridges said.
Wow, that's pretty much shade, to be honest. Towards Tibbs.
Right?
100%.
Yeah. I think it's shade. I mean, you don't got to read too much into it. It's like, look, and you saw like when it came to the report saying, hey, why don't we let other guys get more minutes? Like, and we don't have to play 36 minutes. And not like, we all know he's stood up and spoke out against Tibbs last season. In that regard, Tibbs denied that. So you could sense there was a little bit of tension there. But I think with that quote directly, it says that, I think there's a little different level of respect and comfort with Mike Brown versus Tom Thibodeau, and just to add into like what we're seeing on the court and how he's playing.
Yeah, I mean, he's playing great. You could tell he's been in the gym. He's always been a guy who's been in the gym, but I think he's playing so well that I wouldn't even look at him like an X factor. Like, I think he really is going to be great this season, and I think he'll make the All-Star game actually this year.
Wow, you think he's going to make the All-Star game this season? What gives you that confidence?
Well, the way he looks in the preseason, and then I feel like we're going to see more of that Mikal that we saw when Jalen Brunson was out. I think they're going to figure things out with Mikal more this season, and he's going to be a lot more comfortable. And there was obviously some issues with him and Tibbs. And then also, if he could play like he played with the Brooklyn Nets on this Knicks team, on a winning team that's going to be number one in the East, I think he will make the NBA All-Star game this season.
Do you think, like, Like, I don't disagree with you because, like, from what I'm seeing during the preseason, and even being out in summer league, and I just saw like constantly next to Mike Brown, and just constantly like the communication is there. I'm sure they're spitballing ideas. He's talking to Mike Brown and saying, "Hey, this is my capabilities. This is my skill set. This is what I can do." And I'm also sure that when Leon Rose was looking for a next head coach and saying that we're looking for somebody who can be more of like a communicator, work with multiple people at different levels of the organization, from players to the front office, the medical staff. When I see that from Mike Brown, it's like, they're trying to make sure that everyone gets utilized in a manner that they had envisioned, right? And I think part of that is saying what we saw Bridges do out in Brooklyn, saying, "Hey, we can add that. We can add a guy who was initiator out there." Not saying he's going to surpass Brunson or supplant him as the lead guy, but to relieve Brunson, right? You want to create easier shots and give guys opportunity. We want to give guys opportunity just to, showcase themselves and just make the game easier. And I felt like we didn't do that with him last year because how he was utilized last year was like, yo, why are we treating him like he's Phoenix Suns Mikal Bridges when we literally gave all this draft capital because he showed he could be more than that out in Brooklyn. Yeah. So I think we're going to see. I agree with you in the sense that I think we're going to see a Mikal Bridges. I'm not sure because like I have to look at the East, man. I just really have to look at the East and see where do you like at the forward position. Like where do you fit him in, these guys?
Tatum's not there, so that's one spot for sure. That's open. Right?
Yeah, for sure. But where do you like? I guess that's the other thing too. Is he playing? Is he
like who's the other best wings in the East?
Jaylen Brown.
Yeah,
he's there. I don't know. Pascal for sure, but I don't know if he's going to be considered like a 4, right?
Yeah, right.
So if he's considered like this is the thing with like the All-Star, like how do you?
I mean, like if they're number 1 in the East, they'll get 2 or 3.
If they're number 1 in the East, then yeah, I could see Mikal Bridges being an All-Star because that means.
I mean, they really should be number 1 in the East this year.
Yeah.
I think it's somewhat of a disappointment if you're not number 1 in the East. I know the goal is to win a championship, but I mean, they should be number 1 in the East, even though I know that Mike Brown is not going to focus as much on winning every single night if it means, putting too much tax on his players. You know what I mean? But still, I still think they're going to be number 1 in the East. And I think to your point before, they needed a coach or they wanted a coach that was more collaborative, right? I feel like sometimes Tibbs has tunnel vision and Mike Brown has a little bit more of an elevated perspective when it comes to the whole franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I'm now thinking about it because what Mikal's going to be playing, he's the 2, right? So we're thinking All-Star. You got to be thinking about not only Brunson being a guard because they're going to do the whole guard thing, not point guard, shooting guard. It's going to be a guard. So if he's playing the 2, if he's playing that position, you're going to have him, Jaylen Brown probably if they put him in that category, Donovan Mitchell, Cade Cunningham. There's going to be a lot of guys that they might be looking at if that's what he's going to be slotted as, because it's going to be Brunson, Bridges, OG, Cat, and Mitch. So you're essentially saying with that lineup that Bridges is a shooting guard,
right?
So I think he might have a tough time. He might have a tough time, but if they're number 1, man, and he's doing the damn thing, he's balling out. Certainly possible. But I think he's not. I mean, he's not.
There is no like the 2 guard was like such a 90s thing. Like there's so much less 2 guards now because you just give your best player the ball and let him do everything at this point in the NBA. You know what I mean? It's like it's so positionless. It's hard to even say who's a 2 guard.
It is positionless, but that's the thing. Like, how are you going to like? This is where the NBA voters are like, oh, well, he's really a guard. He's really a forward. We have no idea what he's going to be considered.
Yeah, like I know this is a Knicks show, but like, what position does SGA play? It's not really like a point guard, but he's not really like a 2 guard.
But he's getting the guard. But he gets the guard designation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
But that's the thing. That's why I think like. I love that, but I think it's going to be a little difficult, man. I think it'll be a little difficult.
I think he gets in this year. I think he gets in.
All right, man. All right.
Yeah, I'll stick to it.
Last thing before we start getting to calls, man. Last thing before we start getting to some calls. Mohammed Diawara, man, I'm a fan. I already said I'm going to be the president of that hive. I like what he was showing out in Summer League. I know we were talking over backstage, seeing the floater and everything, man. I like his game, man. Pacome Dottie. Saying it right now. Your days are numbered, man. We're going to trade that
Wow.
Frenchman for the new Frenchman, all right? That's how it's happening around here.
He definitely has some tools. I mean, it's so important in the NBA just to be able to get up and down the court, like at a high level. And then he's skilled. He showed that floater. He's nimble on his feet. I mean, he got great size. There's like a lot to work with there, as Alan Hahn said on the broadcast. It's just there's a lot of potential there, and he's really young. So I liked everything I saw tonight. I don't know if he could give them meaningful minutes this year or anything, but he got potential.
Yeah, certainly got potential. I like what he showed throughout Summer League and now, man. I think, and that's why I think the Knicks took him is that, you talk about the potential playmaking, the potential like shooting, the wingspan, the things you can't teach is why he's here. Height, wingspan, athleticism, that will help. It's now like, how do you hone him in and just mold him into being another like problem? If you think like those using those intangibles, improving that athleticism, it's kind of like, not saying he's going to be the next OG, but like in that sphere, it's like, oh, a guy who's versatile as a defender. You can certainly use that. Not saying he's going to be OG Anunoby, but
Basically,
you look at that, you look at that framework.
Sorry, you're saying he's super like talented, but how do you polish the skill set? Is basically
sure.
what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it,
Yeah.
man. That's exactly it.
He got the materials. He got the raw materials,
Yeah, for sure. I see him being down in Westchester most of the time, just like polishing his game. It's going to be hard for him to get burned up for the big league unless they're like, kicking some team in the dirt.
Yeah, but he's going to be a priority with Westchester. Like they're going to make sure they want to develop him because he's somebody that could really help them in the future, I believe.
Yeah, man. I think he'll be helpful in the future too. It's just the thing with all these projects, man, is just the work ethic, right? Like you take all these projects and you hope that one hits. That's the thing. It's like you keep churning them in, churning them out. They got the whole new development coaching staff for the Knicks as well. They really want to make an emphasis on that, just because when you look at the way that this team is built, you don't have the surplus of draft picks just to go out there and go get these, top end picks. At the same time, if the Knicks, continue to be good, and I expect it to be good for the next, 3-4 years with this roster that you have, then you're not going to be in position to be drafting in the top 10. You're going to be at the latter half. You're going to be at the back end of the draft, talking more close to the second round. So you're going to need guys who are capable at coaching these young guys who are raw to become a true NBA player. So that's what they're looking at. That's what they're seeing. I like the pick of Mohammed Diawara. I just like the defensive. I just like the hustle, man. Guy who wants to be out there and earn something. That to me wins a lot. And I know it wins a lot of the hearts of New Yorkers as well. So I like what he showed tonight, man. There's a lot more to get through, but salute to Knicks Nation. Thank you all for tuning for another KFTV post game. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. We are taking calls from the Discord tonight. All right, with me on this other side is my guy, Andrew Solop, aka the 1-2 combo. We're breaking it down here tonight, so make sure to tap in. Hit the Discord. I see we got a crazy line right now. But before we get, actually, let's go to the lines right now. Let's hear what the people got to say, and then I'll get into the ad read. Then I'll get into the ad read. All right. So let's see who we got here. Who's ready to go? Let's start off with my guy Carlo. Carlo from the Philippines. What's happening, man? How you doing?
Hey, kamusta kayo guys? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you loud and clear. This is your show. Take the floor, good man.
I'll get right through it. I'm giving a brief review of this Finnish preseason and maybe what to expect along the season. Number one, coaching. They are more sound defensively, and I'm intrigued particularly on how Coach Brown can fix Cat's foul troubles. And during the Abu Dhabi games, he was better defensively. Even the captain Jalen Brunson is grabbing long rebounds in this Hornets game, and I'm worried he might tweak an ankle or something. And obviously, Mikal, Mitch, and OG are going to thrive in this system. We are finally going to experience what load management feels like, and we can now see our stars resting and young guys playing. I like how Coach Brown experiments on different lineup changes, And I'm not throwing shade at Coach Thibs, but we will see a lot of adjustments on the lineup as the game progresses. And that will keep the opponents guessing. And long gone are the template coaching. We are just we just
Carl, it
changed
sounds like you're
where
happy
we
that a
just
certain coach is gone at this point, man.
Uh, no, we just change lineups every 5 minutes, like what Coach Tibbs always does. But we can now finally see a much more happier and a well-rested Mikal Bridges on post-game interviews because he's not tired anymore. uh, our guys our young guys are showing a lot of promise, and I like the kid 30 Jameson. I call him
Mhm.
30 because he's the third, and this is what Clyde is preaching about. Play defense with your feet and not with your hands. And he's a good example of that. He reminds me a lot of Tyrone Hill. Remember Tyrone Hill?
Mhm.
Not the All-Star version, but the Golden State version of Tyrone Hill. Hakporti is a sure shot. So far, I think I've seen two successful Gortat screens since the Abu Dhabi games. In regards to the Kolek and Pacom conundrum, and this is also related to the retirement of Brogdon, I'm not gonna make some conclusions after this preseason, but I will do it anyways because we're Knicks fans and that's what we do. But from the start, I always lean on keeping Kolek rather than Pacom. Maybe because I relate and I root
Mm.
for the little guy, but this might be a worse take or maybe a hot take from me, but Pacong Daddy is giving me the Jericho Sims vibe, and I'm
Mm.
not questioning his skills. I'm not.
Wait.
I understand that he's just a kid, and I get that we all have different personalities, but his timid and shy personality just reminds me of guys like Nilikina, Knox, Jericho,
Mm.
guys that keep their heads down, and it gets in the way. He sometimes look nervous out there, as compared to his peers like Kolek and Hawk, where they show fluidity, emotion, quick decisions, and things like that. And lastly, I want to clear something up about Jordan Clarkson. Just because he's my fellow countryman and my cousin, well, we are all cousins here. I did not follow him. I don't follow him when he was in his previous teams. I'm not into personal accolades because I'm a Knicks fan. I'm not a leader nor part of the Carja Clarkson hive.
Sure.
So you will hear unbiased critic from me where uh, we are going. So we have to get used to what Carja Clarkson is. There was this one play in the quarter where he could have passed a wide open Yabu for the three. Have you seen that?
Yep.
But instead he chucks a well contested shot. And this is a question or also a challenge for the coaching staff about accountability. We are now in the era of what we call the spray era, and JC doesn't spray, he spits, and that boggles me about JC. He's a good passer. Why don't you pass it, man? Yeah, that's all. But I just have one fun question for you guys before I go.
Sure. What is it?
Uh, and the chat can share this one too. But since the preseason is over, I just want to ask, what's your all-time favorite Knicks preseason moment? And before you answer it, I'm going to tell you mine. I have three of them. It's Charles Oakley slamming Charles Barkley to the ground.
Mm.
Tony Douglas diving for the loose ball in the scores table with no regard for safety on a preseason game, and the Patrick Ewing Jr. game versus the New Jersey Nets.
Okay.
So, what's yours, guys?
All right. Appreciate the call, Carlo. Appreciate you for tapping in. What are my three favorite preseason moments? Definitely Mook knocking. I forget the guy's name on the Washington Wizards. Just doing that. That's like, oh, we're sending dudes home being aggressive. I know it didn't really do that, but to me, it's just like, who does that? Who does that in a preseason
Right.
game? That's one. Another preseason, I guess. Man, what's another preseason game? We're really deep diving. Carlo, you had time to think about this today, man. You had time to think about this. Now you're just putting us all on the spot and thinking, now I got to think about this.
I don't think he asked for three. I think he asked for. Did he ask for three? That's kind of crazy. That's diabolical.
Think that I
By
would
the
go
way,
give the Mook one.
He's really knowledgeable, man. I love his
Yeah.
takes. Yeah, I've heard it before. I think I've heard it before on the show. Yeah.
Yeah, Carlo's a regular call caller from the Philippines, man. He's phenomenal.
By the way, I think his cousin should be the sixth man of the New York Knicks.
Clarkson.
Definitely. 100%.
You want him to be so like over Josh Hart, over Miles McBride, you want Jordan Clarkson.
100%.
Why is that?
To produce off script. He's a hooper.
Oh my God, here we go. Hooper versus ball player.
Yeah, Knicks fans are mad at me because I said he's their only hooper. Listen, look, they started screaming at me, Jalen Brunson is a hooper. I'm like, no, there's hoopers and basketball players. By the way, LeBron James is a basketball player. So there's no knock at Jalen Brunson. But Jordan Clarkson is their only hooper. It's a good mix. He can score off the bench. He's of the Lou Williams, Jamal Crawford mold. He fits that six-man position perfectly. And he averaged like 15 last year, 14. Like, he's a bucket. You know, like, Miles is great. Deuce is great. But he doesn't really create for himself that well, you know?
I get that. I totally get that. I think it's going to be Josh Hart, man. I think it's going to be Josh Hart being that sixth man off the bench. I think you're going to have to just, if Clarkson gets it, I think that's later in the season. The way I look at it is that since he was a starter last year, I think you gotta, you gotta work with the guy who was like one year starter last year, who's been very critical to what the Knicks have done. And that may not mean, hey, you just play him into oblivion like Tom Thibodeau did. But I still think you got to respect what he's done for this team, and just he gets probably he gets the sixth man start first though.
See his finger, bro?
I've seen the finger, but we got to talk about the intangibles too that he offers, man. The rebounding, the playmaking, the hustle. Like, he's a ball hog when it comes to like snatching 100%. Out when guys are trying to push the pace and just like launching up court. Like, he does a lot of other things. I know the scoring is not, the same as Jordan Clarkson, but in all honesty, what he also offers that, Clarkson, yes, he has that wiggle. He can create his own shots, but Josh Hart being just a wrecking ball by himself out in transition, that's something that you need as well.
He's this team's Draymond, Josh Hart.
And so, like, you don't think that's deserving of six man?
Look, he has this back stuff. He has this finger stuff. I like your take. Like, I like Josh Hart a lot. I even don't mind him as a starter, but you need to start Mitch because Cat and Brunson is no bueno on the defensive side with no Mitch. But I think Jordan Clarkson should come off the bench. Josh Hart is not 100%, and also his shooting fell off a cliff, right? Don't you think?
Who's shooting?
Josh Hart.
That shooting has fallen off a cliff. Yeah. I mean, he was never a great shooter to begin with, but he's a guy that gets
Blazers. He was good, and there was like the beginning of that Knicks season, right? He was pretty good.
Sure. I mean, these are some very small sample sizes, and blue moon like phases. And he shot the ball well last year too, but I never expected him to be like this complete knockdown 3-point shooter.
You don't have to be. You just need to be able to be honored, be guarded. Like, you don't have to be 40%, but it's like, with Mitch, 2 cloggers is tough in the NBA.
Yeah. Look, I get the limited spacing with Josh Hart. I still think he's going to get that 6-man start, though, man. I still think he will get that just because that's just what the team needs. It's not even just vibes, man. It's just what the team. Look, there's got to be a level of respect for what he's done for this roster before you just just be like, all right, new guy, Jordan Clarkson, Josh Hart, and look, I'm not saying he's like Andre Iguodala and like even that step from being a starter to going off the bench, but I still like from his like rise on this team to go from a bench player to a starter and then say, hey, because we got Jordan Clarkson now, we're going to now put you down to like 7th or potentially 8th just because. That I think that's a little tough, man, for him to stomach. But hey, let's hear what the fans got to say, man. Guys, what do you think? Should Josh Hart be the 6th man or Jordan Clarkson? I know some of you are going to say Deuce McBride. And I welcome that comment. However, we're just queuing between 2 players right now. Josh Hart or Jordan Clarkson. Who should be the 6th man for this team? Chat, let us know, man. And hey, next callers, you can let us know too. So let's get to the next caller too and see what they got to say. Yuri, what's up, my guy?
Yo,
Yo, what up? How you
good,
feeling?
good. Preseason's finally over. Bad news. Wednesday's too far away. It could have been Tuesday. It could have been Monday. Come on. I gotta wait till next week to see these Knicks, man. Man, some BS.
It's all good though, man. They get a little bit of a break before you need some rest, man. Josh Hart's dealing with some back spasms. Mitch is sore. You want these guys well rested, man. Give them some time in between, man. I'll take that. I'll take
I
it.
know. I'm excited though, man. That's how hyped I am for this season. That's how hyped I am to see this team. I ain't
Feel
gonna
you, man.
sugarcoat it. But yeah, no. To answer your question, as much as I love Deuce, love him. What he did today, even though it's a preseason game, man got up from a hip injury, told
Hmm?
Mike Brown, "Yo, don't take me out. I'm gonna go play defense." That was straight dog energy. Um, I gotta go Josh Hart for the sixth man of the year.
All right. See,
I gotta do it. Josh Hart brings so much value to this team. Up tempo basketball, going downhill. I can kill him about the 3-point shot later. He plays defense. Last year was slacking, but I always thought that was a minutes thing with Josh Hart. Minutes caught up to him.
Mhm.
But I will say though, I think Josh Hart should be the sixth man, not Deuce. I love
Okay.
Deuce as much as the next guy, but Josh Hart wins him out by a sliver.
So Jordan Clarkson's not even in Yuri's conversation.
No, not at all. I'm telling you. He's
But that's
telling you. He's telling you that Josh. Look, and that's why I agree with him, man. That's why I agree. But go ahead, Yuri. Sorry for cutting you off.
no, you're good. No, I really like this Knicks game today. Went up against a very young, athletic Charlotte Hornets team, even though it's preseason. No LaMelo Ball, no Brandon Miller. But again, young athletes were our problem. They were our kryptonite last year. We just couldn't stop these young athletic teams from catching up to double digit leads, letting the lead go apart. I could attribute that to fatigue, but I always felt like the athletic teams were the Knicks' kryptonite last season. Even below, even when it came to sub 500 teams that were athletic, they gave the Knicks the business. For God's sakes, Jalen Brunson had to put 55 points up just to beat the Washington Wizards last year. Does nobody not remember that? That was a problem.
Yeah,
The lowly
absolutely a problem.
Washington Wizards. That's a problem. You should beat the Washington Wizards damn near 30. You don't need
Mhm.
Jalen Brunson just to beat that. But moving on, regardless. I noticed one thing tonight that a lot of Knicks fans should be happy about, and I got a funny feeling it's going to translate to the regular season. No more drop coverage. No more drop. No more drop coverage defense. It's all sifts. It's all preemptive switching. And someone pointed out in the Discord that it's all zoning. I think they implemented a 3-2 zone principle. I gotta look back at the footage just to have a breakdown of it. But if the Knicks implemented zone, that solves a lot of problems with JB and Cat defensively, especially when you have wings like Mikal and OG in the starting lineup. So I want to see how they experiment with that a bit more. Again, I have to look at the footage to see if zone was implemented a bit more. But I really liked the defense tonight. Matter of fact, the defense was really good throughout the last preseason games, minus the Wizards. I chalked that up to not having our starters, though.
Yeah, I thought the defense was really. I thought the defense has started to improve under Mike Brown, and appreciate the call. Yuri. We just got a lot of people. I want to make sure we get through everybody through the night. So
Yeah. I'll
appreciate you
leave with one
calling in.
point, though. I'll leave
Yeah,
with
yeah.
one point before I go. I really would like to see how Mike Brown's system continues to evolve in the next 15 and 30 games when the regular season starts. I think the Knicks picked up the system really well this preseason, and I look to see it forward evolve. Thank you for having me on a call. I take my leave.
All right, there we go. Appreciate the call, Yuri. And hey, what have you guys been thinking about the defense? I think the defense has been stepping up a bit. Granted, we have played, Sixers, who I don't expect to be a great team. We played the Wizards. We played the Hornets. I want to see us against that top echelon competition. The Cavs. We're talking about the Thunder. We're talking about even the Denver Nuggets, teams like that. I want to see how the Knicks compete against them to see where this defense really stands. I expect it to take a step up with Mitchell Robinson in the starting rotation, him just being a rim protector, OG being healthy as well, Mikal Bridges. I feel like will thrive under what Mike Brown is trying to implement, and then, yeah, especially with Deuce McBride off the bench, Josh Hart off the bench, you're not losing defense anywhere. I think you're still going to keep you're going to keep a strong foundation of defense. I like what Porty has shown as well. And then on top of that, Knicks got the defensive coordinator, Brendan O'Connor, who they've now added, second stint essentially with the Knicks, first time under Larry Brown during 2005. So let's see what he can do with Mike Brown and develop what he can create, curate for this Knicks roster. What do you think? What do you think, Combo?
Mitchell Robinson's health. That's what it all comes down to.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the biggest thing. Like, if he's healthy, I think the defense will be A-okay. If he's not, big trouble. So that's what it comes down to for me.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Before we talk about that, let's get to our sponsor of tonight's show, and that is DraftKings. So people, let's talk about DraftKings. All right, your season, your shot. The NFL season is rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. From first touchdown score to anytime TD props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity, okay? Just bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. All you got to do is just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use the promo code KFTV. That's code KFTV to get up to $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5 or more, plus over $200 off on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, also 21 plus age, eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Fees may apply in Illinois, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer. So remember, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code KFTV. All right. That's promo code KFTV to get up to $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first bet of $5. All right, so make sure to download DraftKings and place your $5, man, to get $200 back. And hey, $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket so you can catch, Red Zone and all the other games. Why not, man? Why not? That's a good deal right there. Who doesn't want Sunday, man? Unless you're a Jets fan, like me. That's where you just turn on Red Zone and just watch everything else. That's where we're at, though. All right. I can't do it, man. This season's just so down. I can't do a combo. I don't know if you're a Jets fan or not. It's just been tough, bro. It's been tough. Start off promising. Now it's just gone quick, fast, in a hurry down the toilet. No, nothing else, man. Just awful to watch. Absolutely awful to watch. But getting back to the topic at hand, Mitchell Robinson's health. Look, you had Mike Brown today saying that if this was not a preseason game, Mitchell Robinson would have played. That's what Mike Brown said today. So they're now implementing, right, the load management to make sure that he's healthy and that you can have him for the extended season. Now, how many games do we see Mitch? I'm sure we're not going to see him on the second night back-to-backs, but I think the goal would be to get him to the 65-game mark so that way he can earn some accolades. I would expect him to try to do that, but if his body, can't hold up for that, then I don't see them pushing him just to get accolades because he's so critical for the postseason. I mean, we saw the difference in the Knicks defensively when he was just out there. I mean, look, I know Celtics fans are all upset based on my tweet, man. They were coming at me because, you had Jaylen Brown on the starting five saying, doesn't know how he lost to the Knicks. And look, man, you lost to the Knicks for 3 reasons. I said your team got comfortable defeating the Knicks during the regular season, so you guys thought you already had the upper hand. You guys were arrogant in that you could play that live and die by the 3 game, where you just put up too many threes and don't diversify your portfolio and seeing how you can attack. And then, last but not least, New York was just tougher physically and mentally, man. And I mean, we see the highlight of Mitchell Robinson covering all that ground, ripping the ball from you. We have Mikal Bridges stopping you. All right. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, but we know how important Mitchell Robinson is for this team, Combo. That's all I'm trying to get at.
I think Mike Brown is saying that because he's sending a message that Mitch is okay. I mean, that's to me is the biggest reason why he said like he would have played if it was a regular season game. He didn't want like speculation, Yeah, I mean, he needs to play because the Knicks' 2 best players are just not very good defensively. So he's just that guy that has to be there. And everybody in the league knows it. There's nobody else that could start on the team because of that. And he changes everything defensively. And he actually looked better than ever this preseason in Abu Dhabi. So that's really encouraging for this New York Knicks team.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And look, they need him for this entire season. He is just, I've been saying it. I think he's better than Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert, I think he is better than like at this point. Like I think he is better defensively and much more impactful. Because I know people are gonna say, "Well, you can play him off the court for the free throw line." I mean, you can't scheme him out defensively. You really have to make him shoot free throws. Rudy Gobert, you could just go play small ball, do other things, get him off the court.
As awkward as Rudy is on offense, I feel like he's a little bit better on offense.
I think we're about to see a better. I mean, they've been, using Mitch in offense in the preseason. I'm expecting him to be a little bit better than what we've seen in the past. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
What do you feel like? How do you feel about Mitch in like handoff situations though? Like I felt like in Abu Dhabi,
handoffs.
Yeah. I don't know if I was like feeling that too much with Mitch.
I think he's fine in that.
Okay.
The thing that he had to work on was setting screens, and he's gotten better at doing that. Off of dribble handoff. I think that we're going to see a big improvement in that area this year. But yeah, man, like I defensively, it's where for me it just stands. Like Rudy, I think is like overhyped in the sense where he wins Defensive Player of the Year, and then you can't use him defensively at all in the postseason.
Nobody's gonna win it but Wemby for like the next 10 years, probably. So
I mean, that's just he's just a different level, man. He's a different level. He's just a different level. But like, let's get back to the calls and look. I'm going to be asking you all still, who do you want for 6, man? All right. So let's get to Say Quizzy. Say Quizzy's on the line. Say Quizzy, how you feeling, bro? Unmute that mic. What up, bro? How you feeling?
Got to win. You know what I'm saying? So like preseason is over with. We go into the real season. I like the way Brunson played today. We already know what he could do. I trust him, Brunson, whatever he could do. Is everybody else that need to wake up, and we need to share the ball around. I'm liking the way Bridges is playing. He looks comfortable. He looks confident. Taking layups, going for contact, not just doing fadeaways all the time. That's what I didn't like. Like, we know that's your shot. Do that. Actually getting clamped up.
How about him battling for rebounds, my man? I mean, he grabbed that offensive board. I was like, all right, you're in the post.
Like Mitch,
grab some offensive boards. Let's go.
Looking like Mitch out here slapping the ball, making sure we get the rebound.
That's what I'm saying.
And that he did was crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That block he did was crazy. But I like the way he's playing. He looks comfortable. He looks confident. He should have more energy now. No shot to Tibbs, but he was playing crazy. He should have more energy now. And then Deuce played good today. He kind of scared me with that little injury. I was like, we don't need these. We know Deuce. We need him on the court. We don't need no injuries, no setbacks for him. He need to stay on the court. But I like what I see today. We'll see if they do a trade with the young guys sooner or later. I don't know if it's going to be Daddy A since he didn't play today. Because I've been having his back because of his height. And just in case like Bridges or OG go down, but he haven't showed me really anything. Like Diawara, I think that's the kid name. He was playing good. I like him, actually. He looks comfortable. He looks confident out there, diving for the ball, even driving down the lane, taking a layup. Like for Daddy A, but it's looking like, I don't know. We'll see what they do. But Wednesday is the time. I want revenge on the Cavs for beating us last year. even though 3 of those games was like on a back-to-back, so it's like, can you really count those that much? Hopefully, we set the tone, go out there and play on Wednesday. But I'm hyped. That's all I got to say. There's a lot of people trying to call in, but that's it.
Well, before you go, stay quick. Hold on one second. Who do you want as 6 man, bro? Who do you want as 6 man? Josh Hart, or do you want Jordan Clarkson? Who should it be?
To me, I believe it might be Josh Hart because the triple doubles. If his finger ain't really that crazy, I feel like he's
crazy. Do not mistake. It is crazy.
Well, I know it too, but I'm saying like the pain. If I'm other teams, to be honest, I'm slapping at his finger. we gonna test that out. But if it's fine, he could deal with the pain. I feel like he's gonna get a lot of like triple doubles, like 6 assists, like 10, 20 rebounds. Certain times he might get that with like 10 points. Clarkson is just really scoring. That might be the difference. Is he just score? If he gets some playmaking, then maybe it could be him. But I feel like it's gonna be Josh Hart.
All right, appreciate the call, Quizzy. Appreciate you for tapping in.
See ya.
All right, so there we go. Another guy with Josh Hart combo. I'm winning the scoreboard over here, man. I'm just saying. But don't worry, you got some people in the chat. We got Big Bill Blast saying Jordan Clarkson should be 6 man. I know we had some others say Clarkson as well, but I'm seeing Josh Hart is getting that love. Who else we got? We got Timothy Danzler who's saying Jordan Clarkson as well. We got Dave Rodriguez who's saying Clarkson as well. Kolek Clarkson. What?
Dave,
6 man. Kolek. What's going on here, man?
Dave Rodriguez is a smart man. I'll tell you that. I don't know him, but we have the same opinion here.
Just agree with me, and you know, you got my backing. You got my backing.
Genius.
There it is, man. There it is. All right. Let's get to another call, man. We got Augie from Manhattan. Augie, what's happening?
What's up, fellas?
What's happening,
Augie?
bro? How
Can
you
you
doing,
hear me?
Augie? Yeah, we can
All
hear
right,
you.
combo, Alex. I'm chilling. Yo, first off, I like hockey and DY and Jameson, man. They look like diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, man.
They
The hustle, the
grittiness.
grittiness, that's what you want to see.
Yes, those three look like they want to play, and that's what I don't get from Daddy. He don't look like he want that. He don't like that toughness that you see from hockey. Yeah, Jameson and DY, man. I mean, if you develop DY, man, he could. Oh my God.
Is he giving you kind of like is Dadia giving you kind of like Kevin Knox vibes, but just with locks? Is that it?
Not even Kevin Knox. No. He give me like he could almost be like almost like a Kevin Durant, man. Pull up shorties, jump. He's tall. You know, and you got to develop his dribble. You got to develop dribble. You got to make your own shot. You can't be great if you can't make your own shot.
You said Kevin Durant?
Yeah. You know, he's tall, man. He's slinky, you know, and they got promise, man. You know what I'm saying?
Wait.
Hey, Clarkson 6 man.
So you want to keep Dadier or you want him to go? I'm confused now.
Dadier gotta go.
Why would you let go of Kevin Durant?
No, I wouldn't let go to what do you Kevin Durant?
I thought isn't that what he said? He plays like Kevin Durant?
No. I said DY could be like Kevin Durant.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a diamond in the rough. You got Chicho.
Got you.
I see
You
what
got
you're saying.
Chicho. Yeah, he's you know.
So hold on one second.
And,
This is very fascinating, Augie. You're telling us right now that Mohammed Diawara could be the next Kevin Durant. Is that what you're trying to tell me right now?
He could.
He could be.
Man. Yeah, man. Listen, he's really trying to shoot threes. If you see it open, he's trying to shoot threes. As you see that, he needs to develop his dribble and that little midi. He's too tall. Nobody can block a shot.
All right. And then you said Jordan Clarkson should be the 6 man.
The reason why I say Jordan Clarkson, because if you ever play basketball, Josh Hart's finger look crazy. That ain't working. That ain't gonna work for the whole season. It's gonna get banged up. forget about it. They should have had surgery on that. I don't understand why we got him up there looking like that.
It's a
You
fair
can't
point.
play
That's a good point.
100%. You can't play 100% with your finger looking like that. You're not 100%, bro. You're not 100%. I'm sorry. Sorry.
All right.
I would tell the Pete. I would tell him, listen, I'm gonna go real quick. I would tell him, listen, man, you gotta go get that surgery done, man. I'll see you next year or something because that don't look right. You're gonna hurt the team. It's gonna hurt the team, bro. But anyway, y'all fellas go ahead. It's good to see y'all. Have a good night, y'all.
Appreciate you, Augie. Have a good one, my man. Have a good one.
All right.
All right. So
That's a hot take. That's a hot take.
what? That you telling me you don't look, man. All I'll say is this. All I'll say is this. Augie, wherever you getting that weed from, bro, send some over to me. All right, man. I need some of that too. I need to go to outer space sometimes, man. Life gets a little too tough too. All right. I like to be seeing my players look like Kevin Durant as well. All right. Just hit me up, bro. I'll send you the ad you, or you just tell me who's your connect, man. I need some of that. All right. Sheesh. Mohammed Diawara being the next Kevin Durant is so. I'm sorry, bro. Augie, call back in anytime. I understand the Jordan Clarkson take, but to say that Mohammed Diawara can be the next Kevin Durant, diamond in the rough.
Well, he had a good wait. His explanation was good though. He said all he got to get is the handle in the midi, and he's KD.
Too light work. I forgot. Light work.
Yeah.
Light work.
Handle,
just get handle and a midi. Light work. What? Who am I? I forgot. Because if it was that easy, everybody would be Kevin Durant standing at that height. They thought Brandon Ingram was going to be the next Kevin Durant.
That take made the show though. That's a defining moment of the show.
Rate that call in the chat, man. 5 being facts, 1 being trash. What do you think about Augie's take saying that Mohammed Diawara
Five.
can be the next Kevin Durant?
5. Great take.
Yeah, man.
Ooh. That's funny, man.
Wow. Hey, man.
I might not ever forget that take for the rest of my life.
Hey, man. You know, they always said make sure that you made the first impression, right? That way you sometimes you just gotta be so out there at times that you know just sticks. It just sticks with you.
Yeah. Wow. Imagine this guy does become like a wait. Imagine this guy does become like a 15-time All-Star. That'd be pretty funny though.
Yo, if he became a 15-time All-Star, I'm telling you this right now, New York Knicks, you need to call Augie. I will personally write an apology letter on the show.
Stranger things have happened. Like he has some tools, you know. Kevin Durant
to be Kevin Durant?
No. But what I'm saying is, stranger things have happened than somebody like him becoming a 15-year All-Star.
Bro, we're talking about a guy that we took in the second round. And I'm not saying second-round players can't become great. We got Nikola Jokic. We got Jalen Brunson. We got guys who've done that. But to say that you're going to now, I
don't know. He kind of
out
had
of nowhere be the next Kevin Durant.
He kind of had me when he said, he got the height. He's shooting already. He just needs to get the handle in the midi.
Man.
This is
Kevin Durant.
Good TV.
Yo, let me tell you something. If the Knicks can make Mohammed Diawara into the next Kevin Durant, that coaching staff, that player development staff, golden. You pay you just give a blank check. That's all I gotta say, man. Give him a blank check. Don't even ask any questions. Holy cow. Salute to Knicks Nation. Thank you all for tuning for another KFTV post-game live. With me on the other side is my guy, Andrew Salop, a.k.a. the 1-2 combo. We are taking calls tonight. The New York Knicks defeated the Charlotte Hornets, all right? They won 113-108. And we got call in from Augie saying that Mohammed Diawara will be the next Kevin Durant, man, that it is possible, all right? Anything is possible in the words of Kevin Garnett. So let's keep this show rolling. We got tomato sauce. Tomato sauce is on the line. What's going on, tomato sauce?
One sec. So first I want to it's more of a ritual than an actual point. I just want to glaze Deuce McBride really fast and then get into my point. Not like that. I'm always in the Deep 3 Discord and this Discord. I really like how Deuce, just on the offseason, has genuinely, climbed up the ranks of this team. He's the third most in all the promotional stuff. He's everywhere now. He has truly shown that, he's ready to be a starter. I'll talk about that later. But first, I want to talk about Diawara and Dadier, the two Frenchmen, because I actually had my French homework recently. So I think these are two athletic project wings that couldn't be further from each other. And I think they're both good. I personally lean towards Dadier. I know Diawara was a dog today. It was amazing to see, and Dadier has not shown that hustle and that want. But if Diawara passes the second half of the eye test, I think Dadier passes the first half, where Dadier's shot's not falling and he's maybe not hustling as much as he could be. We've seen this since he was even like 17 in EuroLeague, where he's got great off-ball movement. Like, he has the off-ball movement of a vet. He's got, he has a good shot form. It's just not falling. He knows where to be for the rebounds, and he's been playing behind the best rebounding wing, the best defensive wing in OG, best rebounding wing in Hart, and one of the, best of playmaking and defense of Mikhail. If he just sits and keeps learning and then gets that fire inside of like, okay, I'm done learning. I've learned enough. I'm ready to fight. He's there. Diawara, I am a little bit more skeptical on the development of. Diawara, like that, what Augie was saying is crazy, but I see what he means. Like, but that's assuming that he has like a Josh Allen level development where they like literally chisel his entire player out of stone. Like, he is not really he doesn't have any touch that would even suggest that. But if he can get like just enough touch, he can be like a Pascal Siakam. And I can completely see that working. He has speed, he has power. He's got enough where I can be like, also, I can't lie, me and my mom for a second thought it was OG Anunoby with a haircut, just because I was squinting at the TV and he had the Kobe's on and he was like in the corner behind someone. Like for 5 seconds.
You thought Mohammed Diawara was OG Anunoby?
No, I didn't. I knew it wasn't, but like for a second when I was walking back with my food, I was looking at the TV and I was like, wait a second, because I just saw the Kobe's and like the build.
All right, man. I get you now. I was about to say everyone's on the craziest Zon the last 2 calls, man. So I was about to ask, where's everyone getting this stuff from, man?
Anyway, the last thing I want to say is the Sixman debate. I think Josh Hart is the 6th best player on this team, and Deuce McBride is the 7th best player. But I think Clarkson should be the 6th man. I think Clarkson is like that campaign type that that Jamal Crawford, same initials. He's that type of player where.
Wait. You didn't put campaign and Jamal Crawford in the same sentence, did you?
I just mean in terms of like the audacity and like what they provide off the bench. I know that they aren't in the same stratosphere.
That's rough.
Okay, I know, but I'm just talking about like
okay.
Like, they're a player that like comes in the game and like they're a player that has the potential to flip a game.
Shift the energy.
Shift the energy. While Deuce and Hart, I think, are more of like, if they're going to help the game, they should be starting. Like, for example, if we go into a game and we find they're a team like the Hawks, for example, where Kristaps kind of attacks the rim, but he doesn't attack it enough where we need Mitch. We can run a 5-man lineup where we have Deuce specifically being like, hey, Deuce, get Trae Young. Sick him, boy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and like, also Josh Hart, he's got such a motor and such a, like, even last year in the stagnant Tibbs offense, we saw occasionally Josh Hart would break out with a rebound and Mikhail would almost like psychically know that he had the ball and like would already be on the other side of the court being super fast with those long arms where you can just throw the ball down court and he'll get it. They had like an interesting fast break game, and Mike Brown is all fast breaks, so Josh Hart fits perfectly. He makes a lot of mistakes, I will say, in terms of playmaking, but I feel like for every ball he throws into the stands, he gets one with offensive rebounding that he shouldn't, and it makes up for it. You need to have that audacity if you want to make things happen, if you want to move the needle.
Okay.
So thanks for having me.
Appreciate the
Have a good
call,
night.
Tomato. Appreciate the call, Tomato. So what's your name, by the way? What's your name?
Tom. It's Tom Marinaro, and my wrestling coach used to call me Tomato because it's like marinara sauce.
Gotcha. All right, Tom. Appreciate the call. Appreciate the call, Tom, aka Tomato Sauce. Appreciate you. Oh, feel free to call back anytime. All right. That was all right. I am so intrigued.
This has been an adventure.
It has been an adventure for sure. For a second, when he said Jordan Clarkson was like campaign, I was like, where is this going?
When I heard campaign and Jamal Crawford in the same sentence, I was like, whoa.
Look,
and
man,
I like I actually like campaign. Like I like he carved out a nice NBA career, but Jamal Crawford is different.
Jamal Crawford is different. You know what else is different? The za that everyone's taking on these last two calls, man. That is what is extremely different. But no, I get what you're saying, Tom. I get what you're saying. All right. I get the idea of utilizing. I get the idea between Josh Clarkson and Deuce. I get the whole mixing and matching. I still think and I'm fine with changing it up based on who the personnel is. I think that's totally fine. I think that's essentially what Mike Brown's going to do anyway. But I think what we're going to see more often than not is Josh Hart getting that nod. Personally, that's what I think.
Actually, I'm saying I think Jordan Clarkson should be the sixth man. I don't disagree with you at all that it will be Josh Hart, by the way.
No, I get what you're saying. I think
I'm not going to be surprised at all when it's Josh Hart. You know, that's who I feel should be Jordan Clarkson.
I still probably go with Josh Hart, even though I understand that because I think for Clarkson, even when I'm looking at him play, you definitely need a guy who's going to go out there and get his own shot.
Yeah,
I think you still need. I still think you need the consistency, and I don't know, coming into a win now basketball situation after spending your last few years in Utah.
Guys,
I'm not saying he lost his powers, man, but it's different. And I think if you're a head coach like Mike Brown, who look, let's also keep it to being Mike Brown's job is also at stake. You're gonna need some consistency out there. At least with Josh Hart, I consistently know he's gonna play defense, get your boards, play make, and do those things. Clarkson on some nights, he'll drop 20 he'll sleepwalk into 20. Other nights, he'll just be bricking away.
Yeah, you need to get shots on target. That's why D'Lo still has a job. It's you need guys that get shots on target, especially at that 6-man role. I like that at the 6-man role.
Yeah,
I don't need a good Josh Hart is super glue guy, great glue guy. But that's more of a starter type position, to me, a starter type archetype for me personally.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. I think look, right now we had 2 callers come in for Josh Hart. 2 callers say, Jordan Clarkson. We're still going down the line, man. We're still going down the line.
All right. At least there's some balance now. There's some balance.
It's some balance in the world for you. All right. There's some balance in the world. All right. Let's keep this show rolling, though. Let's get to STG Nick. Nick, what's happening, man? How you doing tonight?
Not much, doing well. Finally wrapping up the preseason. Thought it was a solid game tonight from everybody. Brunson definitely looked like he didn't skip a beat. Because the last time he played out there was against Minnesota in unlimited minutes. But tonight I liked how he played, within the flow of the offense, not really a lot of dribbling. Filled up the stat sheet. I think he had 7 rebounds too, which was nice to see on top of his 31 and I think 6 assists or something like that. But no, he was excellent. And then, but it was also good to see those guys playing a little bit in the fourth quarter. And then, but it's definitely kind of at the same time a weird preseason because how many of our questions were really answered? There's still a lot of debate, who's going to be the 6th man. It's just during this whole preseason, we never got a chance to see the lineup in full because the first game, Hart goes down 6, 7. No, not even trying to be funny. 6, 7 minutes into the game, and then he goes down with the back injury. And then even in the games that Towns played, I didn't think he looked that good. Especially the last game against Minnesota. I think he shot 2 of 11. And in the Abu Dhabi games, he was all right. And I don't know, he's got to get his rhythm. But that's why I'm a little interested to see how opening night goes, just because they haven't really played that many minutes together. I'm not really sure if they've integrated sets in. Josh hasn't played, so it'll be interesting to see for sure. I mean, I would have hoped like tonight could have been a full run through, but I guess it'll have to be opening night is when we really see this team out there for the first time, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's gonna like I would like to have seen it too, and I think there's a little bit of gamesmanship when you're playing stuff like that close to the chest. I know Hart is injured; they're resting Mitch. I think there's like, hey, we don't want to show, you know, the full our complete hand yet. Like we want to like work this out and show a little bit at a time, so that way no one's fully able to game plan for what the Knicks are trying to do. At the same time, like, you know, I don't really think there's ever going to be anything fully set for this team. I think it was going to take a 20-game mark to see what actually worked best for this team before even more tweaking. And I still think Mike Brown's that type of guy that will do some experimentation based on the matchups tonight. So I don't really think I think we're just used to what Tibbs does. Is like we're set to like, here's the starting lineup, here's the bench unit. We know like at the 5-minute mark, these players are going to come in. I think I just don't personally. I'm not going to expect a lot of like consistency in that manner for the first 20 games.
Yeah, I agree there for sure. Definitely. And then also tonight, the Knicks were up by like 14 with like 3 or 4 minutes left, and then they put Mikal back in the game, up 14 in preseason. But I didn't hear anything from the anti Tibbs people on Twitter. They were really quiet because if Tibbs was still the coach, I'd be here. They'd be having the pitchforks out. But I didn't hear anything tonight. So us here on Tibbs Fan TV, we remember.
Oh my God, we remember. Sounds like we're getting to Games of Thrones territory. Appreciate the call, Nick. Appreciate the call.
Also, one last thing before I go.
What's up?
I put it in the chat, but they waived Garrison Matthews. I don't know, like if you Ian Begley and a few others put out the tweet, so I just wanted to bring that up quick.
There we go. Garrison Matthews is waived. The sniper, Gary Bird, as CP would call him, he is waived. And thanks for the update, Nick. Appreciate the call as always.
Of course.
All right, so Garrison Matthews is waived. No more Gary Bird, man. People's sniper is gone. But hey, brought up an interesting point. Bridges gets back in there. Brunson playing a lot of minutes today. You know, but I think you know what it is, man.
What?
People are just tired of Tibbs. Everyone need to change. Locker room, fan base, front office.
Speaking of change, I haven't heard your thoughts on Malcolm Brogdon. We're just retiring out of nowhere.
Shocking, because what was it, the night before? And shout out to my guy Jeff. You know, talk about I thought Brogdon was going to have that last spot because they want that veteran savviness to, you know, play point guard, and you could see him making the pocket passes and stuff like that. The shot making wasn't really there, but you thought, hey, 2 seasons playing in like essentially like NBA limbo with the Wizards and the Trailblazers, that going to take some time to get the rust off. Then hey, guy retires, and look, it just leaves an opportunity for Cole to stay, so you don't got to worry about that. The question is like, what happens to Dadier?
During that whole, like, I'm just thinking, like, during that last preseason game, like, he knows he's going to retire throughout the whole game. Like, he was going hard, you know? He was, good for him, man.
Did he know he was about to retire? Or maybe it was after that game, after he's done, he's like, yeah.
You know what it is? I feel like he don't want to be, the role that he knew he was going to have, that's not something he wants. That's what I believe. I mean, I don't know him personally, but he probably wants a bigger role if he was going to keep playing.
Do you think... I didn't think he was going to have that big of a role. I didn't think he was going to be like...
Well, that's why he retired.
Interesting. Bill, in the story, it sounds like he just...
I mean,
his heart wasn't into like practicing and doing all that stuff.
That's not going to be the story. I mean,
sure. I mean, I guess that's just the PR. That's just the PR way of saying, hey, nicely, like, this is why, man, I was done retiring. Maybe he wanted more, but like, look, man, the issue with Brogdon, too, is his injury history. Now you want to say Mitch, OG, and Brogdon, we're going to rely on you guys, 3 injury-prone guys. It's a little bit of a tough sell, man.
But every team is relying on injury-prone guys, you know, at the end of the day.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's not a thing. That's absolutely. But, like, I feel like for Brogdon, like, at this point of his career, he's not that same guy. Like, he never demonstrated the last 2 seasons that he still had that type of fight left in him. And that's kind of like this is what happens when, and this is what people talk about, like depending on the team you get traded to, depending on that part of your career, it could be, you know, the end. And like next thing you know, it's like guys don't look at you as the same that you did. Maybe if he was playing still in Boston where, you know, he won Sixth Man of the Year before those last 2 years, it's like, oh, maybe, yeah, let's go get Brogdon. This is a guy who we're talking about as a six-man candidate, a guy who can still offer a lot, be like a legitimate playmaker. But we don't even know that because of the last 2 seasons. So
yeah,
it sucks, man. A guy who had a career riddled with injury and uncertainty, and this is the way that he's going out. But a little bit of a shock. But now it just opens up for guys like Kolek and Dadier to like earn playing, either not earn playing time, but just earn a roster spot.
Right.
That's really what it is. But yeah, man.
Yeah, good career though. Rookie of the year. Yeah.
Good career, man. Good career. Good career. All right. Let's get to the last caller of the night, and then we can wrap it up. We got PMC White. PMC White, what's going on?
Yeah. What's up, guys?
What's happening, man? What's your name? Where you calling in from?
This is Paul from Harlem. This is my first time calling.
Hey, man, welcome to the show. How you doing? How you feeling about how you feel about the Knicks so far?
Yeah. I feel real good, man. I got the opportunity to go to the game when they played the Wizards. I was actually courtside. I was right behind the bench. But yeah, I think they're gonna do good, man. I'm really liking the offense. I'm really liking the ball movement and just seeing the guys run up and down. And I got a big take. I think Mikal Bridges, I think he about to be an all-star this year.
So you're with Combo. You're with my guy Combo on the other side who says Bridges is going to be an all-star as well. So you guys are both believing that Bridges is going to be an all-star. What's giving you that confidence?
Great question.
He just looked more confident out there. He going to the basket and he not shooting that little fadeaway. He really, being more aggressive, and he just looked comfortable. Like, yeah, he just running up and down. I think Mike Brown, I think he's gonna flourish in this kind of style. So,
okay, what do you think this Knicks team finishes?
I think we'll probably be second. Only because Cleveland, I'm gonna still respect Cleveland as a regular season team, but I mean, I think we'll probably win. I think we'll probably win like 54, 55 games though.
Okay. So you guys booked for 54, 55 games. Second seed in the East. Cleveland just being that regular season team that they are. Okay. Not a problem. Does seeding matter to you?
No. Seeding don't matter at all. Well, what matters to me really is that if we go out and we playing, good basketball towards April and May, that's all.
Okay. What's your name? What's your name? Where you calling in from? I know you could say calling in from Harlem, but what's your name again?
Oh, this is Paul. Paul from Harlem. First time
Paul from Harlem. Appreciate you for calling in, Paul. Appreciate for you calling in. Call back again, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, there we go. That's Paul from Harlem. Thanks for calling in, my man. Appreciate the call. Thinks the Knicks are going to be second in the East. Thinks Mikal Bridges is going to have an all-star type season like Combo over here. Right? And seeding doesn't matter. He's giving the Cavs the number 1 spot still for regular season because they're like Tibbs. They just like to gun for wins during the regular season. That's all that matters.
So if it's not the Knicks, who do you think has a better chance? The Magic or the Cavs to we forgot to talk about AI.
Oh, we could talk about that. I mean, hey. This is a good segue to go into it. Salute to Knicks Nation. Thank you for tuning for another KFTV post-game live. With me on the other side is my guy Andrew Saab, aka the 1-2 combo. All right. You also want to call in. We're going to talk about this AI stuff. So we can take a few more callers, but Kevin Pelton of ESPN decided to write a very intriguing article. All right, he decided to do a simulation using artificial intelligence to see who would finish where in the Eastern and Western Conference, and see where everyone would finish this upcoming season. And that was very intriguing. All right, very intriguing. Like Paul, Pelton's science had the Knicks finishing second in the Eastern Conference, but not with 54, 55 wins with 50 wins. Number one, though, in the Eastern Conference was the Orlando Magic with 57 wins and 25 losses, close to a 70% win percentage. Third was the Atlanta Hawks, 47-35. Fourth would be the Indiana Pacers with the same record. Toronto Raptors are fifth. Milwaukee Bucks are sixth. Cavs are seventh. So they take a massive fall from grace, after being the number one seed last year and being the NBA's darling next to the Boston Celtics. Miami Heat is number 8. Chicago Bulls are 9. Boston Celtics are 10. Sixers would finish 11th. Pistons 12th. Wow, Pistons take a massive step back after being the 6th seed team last year, after Arcade was playing. Hornets are 13. Nets are 14. Wizards are 15. That's the Eastern Conference. Now, when we go to the Western Conference, number one would be the Golden State Warriors with 63 wins and 19 losses. That is, I don't know how that happens, but hey, it happens, I guess.
What the hell?
Then you got number 2 is the Oklahoma City Thunder with 58 wins, 24 losses. Then goes to the Denver Nuggets, who are 3rd. Grizzlies bounce back with a strong season, apparently, being number 4. Clippers are 5th. Rockets are 6th. Timberwolves are 7th. Trailblazers are 8th. Look at that. Suns are 9th. That's happened. Kings are 10th. Spurs are 11th. Mavericks are 12th. The Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers, are 13th according to this simulation, winning
That's not
36
happening.
games, losing 46 games. Holy cow. Pelicans are 14th, and the Utah Jazz. That's the only one that makes sense to me, next to the Washington Wizards and the Brooklyn Nets and the Charlotte Hornets, being in the basement. And I guess the Pelicans too.
That's
But then now that's just the standings. Very fascinating. Very, very fascinating. This is where things start to get a little dicey. And I'm going to miss out on all the playoff stuff.
They haven't got dicey yet?
I'm going to miss out on all who plays what and who wins what in the postseason. I'm going to focus on the Knicks because this is a Knicks-focused show. All right? This is a Knicks-centric show. So in the Eastern Conference for the playoffs, this is who they got. The Knicks taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers, 2 in the 7th seed in the first round. Knicks would beat them 4-2. So it goes 6 games. Knicks defeat the Cavaliers in 6. Knicks would then make it to the Eastern Conference semifinals. They would then play, oh my God, if this actually did happen, this would be, Knicks fans would just go wild for this one. For the Eastern Conference semifinals, you would have the New York Knicks facing Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks. So not only do you get Trae Young, you get Kristaps Porzingis as well. So you get the Trae Young chance, and you get KP in the postseason. Look at that. Knicks would now defeat, according to the simulation, defeat the Atlanta Hawks 4-1. Gentleman sweep. So we give them payback. So that takes us to the conference finals, the Eastern Conference Finals. All right. And they got the Orlando Magic hosting the New York Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, I do not know how the Magic takes such a magic leap, no pun intended, with in this scenario with the first year of everyone being together. I guess for this to happen, Paolo and Franz seriously took a massive leap. Suggs has to be like a defensive type player of the year type guy in this situation as well.
Bane's an all-star. Bane's the all-star instead of McHale in this situation.
Yeah, Desmond Bane is now the all-star in this situation. Bridges his boy. And in this scenario, according to Pelton from the simulation, the number 1 seed Orlando Magic, who is taking on the number 2 seed New York Knicks. The Orlando Magic defeat the New York Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals to this, giving them the gentleman sweep 4-1. And in Pelton's write-up, he said the Magic cruised to their first trip in the NBA Finals since 2009, surpassing New York at Madison Square Garden in Game 3 to take a 3-0 series lead before completing the gentleman's sweep. Fascinating.
All right, who wins the championship? Who wins the championship?
Now the championship would be between the Golden State Warriors, who had just a record break, another like magical season, and you have the Orlando Magic.
Did KD get traded back in the simulation?
There's no KD traded back. Apparently Jimmy Butler, just does what Jimmy Butler does.
That would actually be kind of realistic the way
that is kind of realistic. However, there's other things that are just not realistic on the Warriors right now. But here's what's even more crazy about this scenario: the Orlando Magic defeat the Golden State Warriors in the simulation 4-3, 7-game series.
Wow.
And Paulo Banchero completed a breakthrough campaign, averaging 32 points in Game 7 and being named Finals MVP. He splits votes with Franz Wagner, who averaged 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists in this series while defending Jimmy Butler.
They know who everybody's defending, and they know everybody's stats in this.
Yeah, man. Apparently, this is what the simulation does, man. So,
yeah.
Now, I mean, if we're going to talk about this and just the absolute craziness of this scenario,
this is called rage bait.
This is absolutely baiting. This is because Knicks fans are like going to read. This is what they're Knicks fans are going to read this. We're going to be upset. We're going to tweet this. Like, how the hell is this even a thing? I mean,
everybody's going to be upset except Warriors fans and Magic fans. Like,
yeah, but it's like this is like what the Magic. So you're telling me the Magic, who've had like what, one postseason experience, right? They figured it all out with the new roster in year one and catapult themselves not only to winning the Eastern Conference, but winning the NBA championship, defeating Steph Curry and the Warriors. Come on, man. You got to take scars before that even happens. That's just wild.
Do you believe the Magic have any chance to win the East?
No.
Really? So what teams outside of the Knicks you think have a legit chance? The Cavs? That's it?
I think the Cavs, yeah.
Yeah, obviously the Cavs, and then obviously the Knicks, and then who else? That's it?
That's it.
Wow. That's kind of a hot take, though.
Is it?
2 teams only have a chance in the way the NBA is today with parity. And then,
there's parity, but you're also talking about teams like first year construction put together to go that far.
I think the Magic, it's not likely, but I think there's a chance.
You're talking about 2 guys. Like, this is the thing. The Magic dealt with a lot of injuries last year. 2 of their 2-star players could not find consistency. They hung their hats on playing defense. And while defense is very much important, we're talking about a season that was now lost to their 2 important guys getting crucial reps in the league to take it to the next step.
Well, Paulo would have to take an MVP leap for that to happen. Where Detroit is absolutely crazy. Like, how did they get that much worse? Because Tim Hardaway Jr. left? And, like, no Malik Beasley?
No Malik Beasley, no Tim Hardaway Jr., no Dennis Schroeder.
Damn, that is kind of... But Cade's going to be the MVP this year.
Cade's going to be the MVP this year.
Mm-hmm.
You're all right. All right. All right, man. When is the last time we had a guard win MVP?
A guard? SGA's a guard.
That's right. SGR is a guard. I as soon as I said that, I thought of my own.
Yeah. The callers might be asking you where your Zod about your Zod now.
Yeah. As soon as I said that, I was like, wait a minute. I just set myself up for that trap.
You did.
I did set myself up. All right, man. All right. Cade Cunningham winning MVP. And the Orlando Magic in year one of this build wins the NBA championship, according to Kevin Pelton. Things happen, man. Things can happen. I don't know.
What's the best? Here's the go one. Who has a better chance to win MVP this season, Wemby or Brunson?
Wemby or Brunson to win MVP? I would say Brunson because the team is
fair.
You have to. I mean, part of
Yeah,
the MVP conversation is like, where are you taking? Like, how far is the team going? You're not really going to win the MVP if you're just making a play-in. I think the Spurs can make a play-in,
Right?
but to be
That's fair.
catapulted to
Good
number
point.
one is pretty
Good
tough.
point. Who do you think does win the MVP this year?
That's tough. That is tough. I think SGA could be a repeat. We've had repeaters before. Like the OKC hasn't really changed that much.
Well, I think Chet and Jalen will be better, which might take a little bit away from Shea. Be wrong though.
He's still leading that team. He's still the leader of that team.
Yeah, he's the leader.
Dude averages 30 in his sleep.
Makes it look easy, but he's not the best player in basketball though. But that's a whole other topic for another day.
All right, man. That's for an NBA show. That's for an NBA show. That's for an NBA show. We will leave it on that. We will leave it on that. But appreciate you all for tapping in for another KFTV post game live where the New York Knicks defeated the Charlotte Hornets 113 to 108. Appreciate everyone that called in today. All right. Make sure that thumbs up button for your boy. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Okay. Make sure to tell a friend about KFTV and what we're doing here. Make sure to subscribe to the newsletter. That is very important. That way you get all the details on the watch parties, our sponsors. You get great articles from our talented writers as well. So make sure to tap into that too. Also, the show links are included in there, so you never miss a show. Also, you get updates on who's going to be on the next show as well. So make sure to get the newsletter. That's also, if anything does happen, God forbid, it's a way to stay tapped into the community and know where to find us if anything does go awry. So make sure to download the newsletter. Make sure to support our sponsor, DraftKings. Use that promo code KFTV to get up to $200 in bonus bets after you place your first $5 bet. Plus, you get over $200 off on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. So make sure to go do that. All right. Yeah, man. You can catch us anywhere. We're on all audio listening platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Alexa. You name it. We're all over the place, man. You can catch us anywhere. All right. But guess what? By next week, Wednesday, October 22nd, the regular season will start. And it'll be the New York Knicks facing the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm looking forward to that. And shout out to all the franchise channel members in here. Can't forget to do that. I see you, John Talento. Shout out to you. We got the Shells. Timothy Danzler in here. Zach, shout out to you. We got Ray Noble in here. Who else we got in here as well? First Lady of Sports. I see you. Nell, I see you in here too. Shout out to you. We got Thomas Donnery. Shout out to you as well. Who else we got? We got Fave424. Shout out to you. We got Mr. Don's in here. Shout out to you for being here as well. Shout out to all our franchise channel members, man. We got Father Peace in here too. We got Augie. Augie's in the chat. Still smoking that za. Appreciate you, Augie. Who else we got? We got Drewski. Shout out to you. All right, man. Shout out to everyone, our callers today. You already know what to do. Stay tapped in. We're always covering the Knicks, man. There's always so much going on. We'll catch you next time. Have a good one, everyone. We out.
Peace.